gives you information are simple and long to use the channel. When you watch a streamer, it's probably because they're either really good at video games or they're funny. I think there was a third reason too, but I forgot what it was. Something about hot tubs and body painting. I don't know what it is. But sometimes it feels like there's something more there. You start to feel like you really know the streamer and like them as a person. Unfortunately, the only thing more shocking than falling into a parasocial relationship with a streamer is being snapped back out of it by the harsh cookie of reality.
I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but
if you're a broke boy, just say so.
But there's one streamer relationship that transcends the parasocial. XQC and Adept's relationship has been live streamed from the very beginning.
The volume of each other. Can you take it?
Why are you guys saying fine cap? It's not a cap. It's not cap at all.
Fine.
XQC's transformation from an upstart Overwatch Pro player with 100 viewers on Twitch to a titan of the streaming industry, signing a $100 million deal is a story for the ages. But it's overshadowed by a story of trust and love that turned into a high-stakes game of lies, deceit, and betrayal.
You are not a victim here. You have never been a victim here. I'm done speaking with you. You are not.
Things were bad, privately, publicly, career-wise, and I just didn't know what to do. And a lot of evil was shown, and a lot of terrible things were said and done. I sat there, and I was asked that question multiple times. Do you want peace, or do you want justice? And over again, I answered, I want peace. Now, where I'm at, I was asked, do you want peace or justice? I said, I want justice. I want justice now.
It's December of 2017. The setting is the Blizzard Arena in Burbank, California. The air is filled with the buzz of excited anticipation and gamer body odor as the arena is full of Overwatch players. But they're not here for some casual games of Overwatch, no. They're wearing fancy jerseys with cities' names on them. Names like Dallas Fuel, Houston Outlaws, and Seoul Dynasty. These players are here today to play preseason exhibition matches for the brand new Overwatch League. See, Blizzard wants to try to legitimize esports by building teams that are tied to individual cities, just like the NFL. And Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick believes that he could make NFL and NBA-sized money if he just copies their business model a little bit and then sprinkles some gamer dust on top. It's probably just Doritos nacho cheese flavor. And to his credit, 12 teams have already signed up for the first season, each agreeing to pay Blizzard a $20 million franchise fee for a total of $240 million. That's a lot of loot boxes.
They opened my boxes! My 1,256 boxes! I was collecting those, bitch!
One of the players in the arena today is Felix Langell, known online as XQC. Just 1 month before, Felix had won the 2017 Overwatch World Cup MVP award while competing for his home country of Canada. Now, he's been added as a last-minute addition to fill the final spot on the Dallas Fuel. The Overwatch League is reportedly paying the players a league minimum of $50,000, so they don't have to stream and focus on playing at a professional level.
Are you serious?
And so, to supplement his income and just because he loved doing it, Felix had been streaming Overwatch on Twitch.
Bang, bang, bang! Oh, fuck! I'm on open mic again! Fuck!
At the beginning of 2017, he was averaging 150 to 300 viewers. But by the end of the year, he was pulling in well over 5,000 viewers on a regular basis. And it was because of this fast growth in popularity that he was recognized by someone named Sammy. Sammy also played Overwatch competitively and
The most decorated worldwide gamer, international stage winner, T-Mobile MVP, Juicer, Warlord, most handsome motherfucker. What's up? That's me, man.
wow, that's amazing. Good luck. XQC had a job in the Overwatch League because he played at a professional level. But he had a growing following on Twitch because of just how unprofessional he could be. Felix was temporarily banned from Overwatch just a few weeks later for throwing games, but a lot of Felix's fans said he was a victim of match throwing himself. Stream snipers consistently joined XQC's team and did everything they could to lose the match, just to get a reaction out of him. Trolling XQC became a common theme amongst his audience, with half of them there to cheer on their favorite Overwatch player and esports athlete, and the other half trying to make him so mad that he would fart and snatch his destiny. Just a few weeks after meeting Sammy for the first time, Felix would see her again at a New Year's Eve party in Los Angeles.
rock music and people that I've never come across, and I just realized that that's just how LA is. Really, really just trashy clubs and people.
Felix had recently moved from Canada to LA to play Overwatch on a work visa. For most people, moving to a new city and a new country where you don't really know anyone would be a pretty difficult social situation. But Felix didn't seem to have a hard time meeting girls.
I didn't want to date Felix at all. When me and him met New Year's, he was with some other girl.
You really messed up
So
not
I was like,
remembering.
why would I want to be with this guy? Like, he's a player. Like, you can go, you know, like, I'm not going to be one of his hoes. You can go a billion other girls. Like, I'm not going to be the one in my attention, right?
In January, the regular season began, and Felix was regularly playing Overwatch in
Relax
arena
for real?
full of screaming fans with TV-level broadcasts and casters.
I'm just watching a
Felix's
video while
official
playing.
matchup of the
Let's
season
change the
was
area
against the
again a bit.
Houston Outlaws on
Make it slightly
January 18th.
smaller.
Felix didn't play in the match, but his unique personality and unintelligible trash talking had gotten the attention of his opponents, leading
Ooh,
Houston
it's very
Outlaws
small.
player Muma to use X's own
Oh, I got
catchphrase
these.
against him
I got
after
these
being
guys.
the fuel.
In the wise words of a good friend of mine, rolled in smoke, my darkness.
Felix responded on stream with about as much accuracy as a Winston man could be expected to.
Shut your fucking mouth. Go back there. Suck a fat cock. I mean, he would like it, but
XQC's response was not received well, especially since Numo was one of the only openly gay players in the league at the time. The league acted quickly, releasing a statement the next day saying that XQC would be fined $2,000 and suspended 4 matches for his comments. Felix's team extended the suspension to the rest of Stage 1. Once reinstated, Felix would go to practice with his team for 8 hours, then since he didn't drive, he would either walk or run home to his apartment and stream for 9
This might be
to 10,
too small, I
sometimes
can't
11
lie.
hours. And the stream drove. But by the end of the year, he was pulling in well over 5,000 viewers on a regular basis. And it was because of this fast growth in
Oh, I had this on for some reason.
Felix was reinstated and returned to competitive play. But almost as soon as he came back, he got himself into hot water again. While commentator Malik Forte was hosting an Overwatch event on stream, XQC went into the chat and started spamming TryHard7. The league was not pleased, saying that he had used it in a
This
racially
better.
disparaging manner. Felix's fans claimed that he used TryHard7 all the time, and it was just something he typed, no matter who was on the screen. And there is proof of him typing this in chat going back weeks before this incident. The league was not convinced, and fined him $4,000 anyway.
Yeah.
Dallas Fuel's response was much more severe.
Something that makes you happy. Get the juice.
I mind luck
3
as hell.
months into his first season in the Overwatch League, Felix had already lost his job. Now, he had a big choice to make. He could either give up on Overwatch, move back home and try to get a normal job, or he could lean in, gamble everything, and try to become a full-time streamer. You can probably guess what he did. But being a full-time streamer in LA wasn't just snorting Coca-Cola and smashing his own furniture. On multiple occasions, XQC got so loud that his neighbors threatened to call the police on him. Then on May 16th, he heard a loud knock on his door.
hello? I'm coming out. Coming out. Coming out. What? Hands up. Hands up. Alright. Okay.
Damn.
SWAT, but was it swatted or noise complaint? Because you're in an apartment, dude. Oh, yikes, dude. Is everything alright?
XQC's fans had escalated from trying to get a reaction out of him in Overwatch to trying to get him arrested on stream. Then on May 27th, it happened again. This time, Felix said it was his upstairs neighbors calling in a noise complaint on him. Understandably, he didn't feel safe staying
I still don't understand. Brian, let me get my phone. Click
Click
on new area, made it smaller.
Soon, they began streaming together.
Still AFK in this for absolutely no reason.
That was clear tryhards in there.
Felix continued to be worried about his
Where's my
safety.
phone?
Packages were going missing in his
My
apartment.
phone downstairs.
Thread with police come
Oh, that's here.
in the beginning of July,
Thanks,
Felix
but here,
informed
my
his
phone
chat
just for
that he
chats,
was moving
be
in with
much
a guest,
easier.
but that they were just roommates. And so began the roommate arc on XQC's stream, leading to some of the most wholesome and entertaining content on all of Twitch.
Who is in a relationship? I love you too. Romantic face. Romantic face. Romantic face.
King of Reap, Cocklord, dude.
In November, Felix went back to Canada to spend the winter with his family. A debt came too, since Felix had met her parents, it only seemed fair that she met his. All this point, XQC's stream was exploding, averaging 15 to 20,000 viewers who would show up to watch him stream for 11 to 12 hours a day. But Overwatch still had a place in Felix's caffeine-drenched heart, and playing in pro or semi-pro esports gave him something that just being a variety streamer couldn't. An opportunity to compete at the highest levels and prove that he was one of the best Overwatch players alive. So when the
I'll
LA
just change
Gladiators
back
offered
to
him
the
a spot
old
on the
area.
Contenders team, Felix was quick to accept. After a short time in LA, Felix and Adept would move to yet another new place, Austin, Texas. By early
4760
2019, Austin was becoming the
4260
hub for
no,
Twitch
huh?
streamers. With names like Asmongold,
7060.
Freak God X, and many more living there, XQC fit right. He just hit 1 million
7060.
followers on Twitch and was consistently in the top 3 most
43,
watched streamers on
41.
the whole site by this point. XQC and Adept moved in with popular Austin streamer SodaPop. Within 24 hours of moving into Soda's house, Felix proved just how great of a roommate he was going to be.
Guys, I can't find it. I can't find the cat. I think I let it out.
This feels much bigger.
While Felix
Not
is
using
for
open
soaring
tablet
new heights, his
driver,
days of
nah.
Pro and semi-pro Overwatch were tanking. Felix had been selected to represent his home team of Canada again in the Overwatch World Cup.
This feels
but
so
when
much
the team
bigger.
entered the playoffs in November, they went 0-4 and finished in last place. The next month, Felix
Yeah, I know
received
what you
some
mean.
disappointing news from his team, the LA Gladiators, while on stream.
As such, we will be parting ways with our players and staff and thanking them for contribution to the last 2 years. Does that is my job? Did I just get fired? Okay.
That turned out to be the last straw for Felix's competitive Overwatch career. He hung up his jersey for the last time, and now his
Mind block.
transformation to pure full-time streamer was complete. In a lot of ways, being a full-time streamer is a great thing, and XQC was loving it. He could get up in the morning, start his stream, react to some videos, play some Fall Guys, and for a little while, it was peaceful. Sure, he had gotten some minor temporary bans from Twitch for stuff like showing a certain gorilla clip or whale watching in VR chat.
I have to choose. The big whale at the back. Big whale. No.
But for the most part, Felix had stayed away from major streaming drama so far. But in early 2020, there was an event that made everyone's lives
I just
so
cannot
much
get
more
my
complicated.
area onto open
The
tablet
pandemic.
driver.
To get some more room spread out and probably to be around fewer people during the height of COVID, Felix bought his own house in Austin, and he and Sammy moved out of Soda Poppy's house in April. X tweeted that he loved being in his own place now. He could argue with himself out loud and even yell at himself without anyone blinking an eye. Felix even attempted cooking for himself for the first time and nearly burnt his brand new house down and burnt himself in the process. Within 2 weeks, he transformed the place from a brand new property into an episode of Hoarders. In August, Felix traveled to Canada to stay with his family for a while, and Adept came to stay too. Since pretty much every venue and event in the world was shut down and canceled that summer, it was a good time to spend with family and learn new skills, like how to tie a tie.
Help me do this.
I just have mine blocked. You can convert it. I tried. It gives me some BS.
How you feeling?
Oh, fantastic. We've been doing great today. We've been,
I'm better than Stu.
By the spring of 2021, Felix and Sammy had been just roommates for nearly 3 years and had moved back to the Texas house. But now, clips were coming out that suggested that maybe they were more than just roommates, and it was pretty widely known that they were together. In probably the most obvious announcement of all time, Sammy tweeted, "What if I told you we were never just roommates?" Revealing that their first real date was way back in June of 2018 during the scuffed LA Zoo stream. But almost as soon as they moved back to Texas, Felix and Sammy's lives would become a living nightmare.
we were getting raided by the police station at rates that made absolutely no sense. Almost every day, the police came to our house with a full squad because of, being idiots. And I was genuinely scared that I was going to die.
Felix's Texas address had been leaked, and him and Sammy were being held at gunpoint so often that one wrong move could mean the end. They tried to reason with the local police department, telling them that the calls were coming from trolls online, but it didn't help. Understanding that acknowledging the squatters would just embolden them, Felix and Sammy came up with a cover story, saying that they were going to temporarily move out of the house because they were having some renovations done. While Felix's gamer den probably did need new carpet once a week to keep from growing new species of fungus, fans were completely in the dark about the swatting to move back in with their old friend Soda Poppin'. This was a unique point in Felix's streaming career too. The first half of 2021, Twitch had been taken over by the gambling meta, with everyone from small streamers to the gaming golem himself being sucked into the allure of hitting that spin button.
$19,000.
The gambling wasn't just big wins for Felix. His fan base revolted, mostly because other streamers were taking special deals with shady offshore casinos to gamble on stream. The streamer would gamble with the house's money, sometimes allegedly with the scales tipped in their favor, so viewers would see them win a lot of money. The streamer would then get paid, but any winnings they made on stream went back to the casino. It wasn't their money in the first place. Keep in mind at this time there was a huge variety of deals out there. Not everyone streaming gambling at the time was explicitly misleading their audience. But XQC didn't take the sponsor route at first. He gambled raw, using his own money with no sponsorship deal. But after the backlash from his fans for gambling, he decided to take a sponsored deal since in his mind, he was taking the lead anyway, so why not get the bag too? After a couple months of this, Felix admitted in his offline chat that he'd become addicted and said he would stop. But that didn't last long at all. Off stream, things just continued to get worse.
Some person went to my old house and broke into it with like a crowbar, and apparently he was like looking for me.
This had gone far beyond someone far away calling the police and lying to them to get XQC swatted. This was something else entirely. To make the situation even stranger, Felix says he checked all of his DMs and messages afterwards.
Axe trash, bro. I cannot aim.
But he couldn't find anything. After Felix and Sammy moved to Soda's house, Felix says
I don't know how that's better to the other stuff.
that if Soda's house started getting swatted too, someone might
It's
get hurt, or
weird.
Soda's dogs might even be in danger.
The problem that I have, it's not really for me, it's like for the people around me or whatever. Just me being around people, like, endangers them. I just want to put, I want to like put an end to it, because it's just kind of like unfair for others.
Felix would later say that he thought his address got leaked because of his online gambling. See, when you sign up for these offshore casinos, you often have to send them proof of your address. So maybe somebody along the pipeline saw his address, thought, ooh, big streamer's address, I'm gonna leak it, and then the swatting started. After just a short time at Soda's house, Felix went back to Canada to stay with his parents. Maybe if he could just be with his family, he could finally be safe. And at first it seemed like he was. After taking a short break from streaming and setting up his gaming PC in Canada, fans said he was looking better than ever. But before long, the trolls who had been swatting Felix got his parents' address too. But the Canadian police treated the situation a bit differently than the Texas police.
They, after the first big ass raid, they would give us like heads up, and they would like clear the house, whatever. And I found a way to remain on stream and not say anything at all, and nobody ever noticed anything different. And the stream always kept going. Every time it happened, they opened the doors. I gave a visual signal, and they cleared the rooms, and they cleared all the angles in the room, but nobody was hidden or nobody was hurt or harmed, so they could finish the house or whatever. And nobody even noticed. It happened a crazy amount of times. I don't even know how many times it happened.
Back on Twitch, the days of Grand Theft Auto roleplay were at their peak.
Cannot act,
Some
bro.
of them, yeah.
Wicked.
There are kids and families. Are you okay?
I'm not related.
Wicked! Oh my!
But GTA wasn't all fun and games for Felix. Before long, he started to get into arguments in-game with Adept that seemed like they were a little more than roleplay.
Now, I admit to you, that in character I was Walden, and then out of character, Good, but... Okay.
Adept ended her stream on at least one occasion due to her and XQC fighting both in and out of game. By August, things had reached a breaking point.
Let's take it back to... I'm talking about them, man. Well, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a fight. It is what it is, man. Hey, it is what it is.
Felix explained a little more on Twitter and asked fans not to harass him. After over 3 years together, moving to different cities, states, and countries together, enduring countless swattings, and being the one person the other could confide in, it looked like the saga of Felix and Sammy might have reached its ultimate conclusion. 2021 was an intense time in the life of XQC's streaming career. He would stream for 10, 11, 12 hours at a time just about every single day. Sometimes he wouldn't sleep and just streamed for 20 hours. A lot of people look at streamers and think, that's easy, I could play Grand Theft Auto for 20 hours straight and make a ton of money. That would be awesome. And it probably would be for them until they realize to hold a viewer's attention for that long, you actually have to be entertained. When you're streaming for 12 hours a day, every day with no days off, you're not answering text messages, you're too busy reading chat. You're not answering phone calls, you're in Discord with other streamers. You're probably not taking a lunch break either, you're having some fast food DoorDash too and then throwing the trash on the floor. When you're done rebroadcasting a YouTube video that you're going to immediately pay an editor to re-upload to make money off your reaction. Craze took over Twitch in the form of
I am clearly Joel's pretty good, guys. Guys, I really enjoyed the intro. We're gonna get the voice.
But I digress.
Bruh.
The point is, being a streamer isn't actually a great job. In fact, I would argue it's a terrible one. There's no healthcare, there's no paid days off, and it really strains your relationships with other people in the real world because streamers like this don't really live in the real world. They live in the stream. And all of this is starting to affect Felix's health and relationships in a big way. He told his chat he was having trouble sleeping, having night terrors. He missed in real life events of Pokemon's podcast because he overslept. And some people were starting to worry.
What am I doing? I cannot stream.
Gambling. Halfway through the year, he had already wagered over $29 million. And these numbers aren't dollars. They're the number of spins.
5 reasons to not quit the gambling addictions. Number 5. 99% of gambling addicts quit gambling right before they hit the jackpot.
Felix told his chat multiple times that he was going to stop gambling, and then would almost immediately go back to it. By the end of the summer after the breakup, things looked like they were going to just keep getting worse. After the breakup was made public, Adept tweeted that she lived with a clear conscience knowing the truth about who she is and what she's experienced. Some fans reading too far into this took it to mean that X2C had abused her. Adept clarified the next day that that didn't happen, and that she was only trying to salvage any privacy she had left. It appears that Felix and Cindy wanted this to be a clear break without fans harassing anyone, but within just a few weeks, Adept was spotted in the bathroom of some of X2C's streamers. In early September, Felix posted this picture of the two of them together. It looked like they had smoothed things over and had moved back in together. September 2021 was a particularly big month on Twitch because a massive IRL streamer event was coming up, Shit Camp. Planned by streamer QT Cinderella, the plan was to get all of the big streamers on Twitch together for a summer camp meets game show slumber party. Imagine this night. Adept and Felix attended this event as a couple, and it seemed like things were back to normal. More clips came out of them arguing, and there were rumors that they had broken up again in November. The stable relationship was devolving into on again, off again. The only thing with any stability in X2C's life was his streaming schedule, and that was making him an extreme amount of money. The sponsorships he was taking at the time was 6 figures, and he had enough Twitch subs and ad revenue to be making enough money to make a trip to space every month. Hell yeah. Instead, he bought a home, but not just any home, a $300,000 McLaren 72S Slide. Felix said it occurred to him that he had finally made it. And buying a McLaren was a symbol of that. From eating cup noodles in a dirty apartment in LA to eating cup noodles in a dirty house in LA and buying a cool car on a whim because he liked the best car in the The dispute will notice that chat's immediate reaction to this announcement was to make fun of him for not being able to drive. He still did not have a driver's license, and CD he drove around in Texas with off. In December, he at least picked up the win. Next goes officially captured Geralt the Overwatch.
I aim this thing. I'm going, but